Hey guys, Sunday, December 8th, 2024. Let's see what the Black Widow wants to do this week. As you know, I'm starting out with my Elliott wave here. I want to see where we at with the Elliott wave. So for those that are new, this is a little catch up. So this green line right here, it's a seasonality average projection line, kind of telling me what natural gas normally does. Not normally, typically. It doesn't do it all the time, but on an average seasonality basis, it's just a projection of what she could do, because we don't know if she flips and then does something else. As you can see, it's going up to maybe 1216, 1223, somewhere around that week, and then it kind of pulls back, and then it just really drops or goes sideways to lower. This is our close of December 6th. Notice the Stokes, very overbought toppy, as I would call it. When you get this like this, you get this pullback. And it looks like maybe it's mimicking this, but kind of giving me a little alert. Just be careful going long, because it's still, the Stokes are not positive. It would be nice if we were like here in this area right here, then things will maybe look like maybe there's a turning point. But right now, an early sign that watch out, the Stokes are telling you the turn is not in yet. It could turn quick, but be careful, because the Stokes are not positive yet, as here when you get this kind of move like that, especially when you get it where it's oversold and you get the black bar. Even though it popped here, the real move came on the second one, as you can see. So you have to be careful. Let's look at our Elliott wave. Let's start with that. So let's look at, we got wave 5, August 28. We got ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into October 18. 1, 2, 3. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves into 3. Which leads us to 1126. And now we're in this transition where she could turn and follow the Elliott wave count and work a wave 5, which lines up with the seasonality here. So that's positive. So pretty much the Elliott wave theory account is indicating bullish price action. So if you are bull, then this chart is going to make you happy. What would void this is that we have a close below 283. If we made a close below 283 and just kind of go sideways to lower, then this count is going to adjust. Something's off. And maybe she doesn't want to go higher into the end of December. Typically, seasonality, December's weak. November's kind of 50-50, December's weak, and January and February are the weakest. And so far right now, she's in that point where it's either going to go lower or one more leg higher to trap some more bulls and then go down. So things are not lining up. You got Stokes that are still negative. Seasonality, it should be going higher. The positive thing is that we're on a wave 4. It hasn't printed yet, but a wave 4 projection is around 295, and we already have, I believe we've oscillated around that price level. So what we want to see Sunday, today's open price action on futures is that we want to see either a gap up, not a gap down, but a gap up, or we start trending higher from here. Going this week, at least try to retest 353, 356. Now, you asked me, so what's your target to the upside? Well, I'm going to give you a couple. That's why I'm going to just kind of take my time here. So the Elliott wave is projecting a wave 5, ending wave 5 around 490. I know that's extreme. You don't even know. A really extreme one will be 611. So if you're really bullish, this will make you really happy. This is super extreme, but more conservative will be 490 for a wave 5 to end up there. What could cause that? I don't know, but that's what the theory and the technique is showing. So that means that from here, we should grind higher, but we'll probably be running out of time because by the 1223, things kind of get, weak. So can it pop up there? The Black Widow's done a lot of crazy stuff. So don't be surprised with the Black Widow moving fast and then, squeezing people out on both sides, on the bulls and on the bears. So you have to just be cautious. You just have to have your game plan. So that's the first target. I'm going to have to deal with this one because it's a little more realistic. I don't know what could cause it to go to at least as a projection target of, 611 around there, which is interesting. Backwards is 911. Hello. Anyways, Fibonacci using an extension. We got 1, 2 here. You got your 100 that we've been oscillating back and forth here, which is 333. Your next one, using the extensions, will be the 61.8, which is 399. So this is a little more conservative. And then you got your 2.618, which is $5. So I'll leave that there. And there's your wave 5 right here. But that's all in contingents that we are going to start going higher this week. Because this is the window where things get a little weird. And my other seasonality model is confirming this, that next week, well, not this week, starting this week, she should probably start trending higher. But it's going against the Stokes, which is a red flag. So you have to be very, very careful. Let's put some other targets. Let's open this up a little bit so we can kind of see. So this is a little conservative, more on the, you could probably say, swing trader, scalper. Just, I want to get in if this is going to pop and then get out because this is too risky, with a lot of things going against each other. Here's conservative, 355, 356, pretty much the high that we made around November. That's conservative. Let's see, then you do a double top or a fail new high and then maybe turn here. Maybe she wants to go up here and make a fail new high and then go down. But if she closes above 353, 356, then this is your next target. Anywhere between 380, 393, with your midpoint being 386. And watch out for December 27th. That's a possible turning point. You will also want to see is that price action be above the linear regression channel and trying to track these channels going up until she's, gets out of it again in conjunction with what seasonality, what the Black Widow normally does, which is somewhere around the last week, Christmas, around there, where she could probably turn around. Now for the bears, you're like, no, fundamentals, inventory, whatever, weather, whatever you want to think of that. It's like, no, we're going down from here. Well, I got you. Here's some targets to the downside. Anywhere from 207 all the way to 195, with your midpoint being 202. This is 1217. This will be too early. I don't know if we're going to crash like that. And 1230. This is to the downside. But these are the key levels you want to watch as a target to the downside. If we're going to start selling off this week and continuing pushing lower, this could lead you all the way to the end, I don't know, December and maybe even January, February. So this is more of a realistic target to the downside. But it's going against what, the Elliott wave theory is indicating that it wants to go higher. Keep an eye out on the ellipse technique, which is indicating December 12th, which I believe is a Thursday. So I give it a window room, a little wiggle room between the 11th, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We know EIA report comes out. What's interesting is that I've noticed that from these moves, lately, from what I could recall, I haven't written it down or done some analysis on the statistics. But every time we have these swings, I notice that these volatility points end up landing on the Thursdays on the EIA reports, which is something that I would call as a anomaly or phenomenon where things are just, it's always landing on a Thursday on an EIA report. So either way, I find that interesting. It should be a little more random and just land anywhere, but not a lot on Thursday. But I digress. 12/12, keep an eye on that. That's the high volatility date. I don't know if it's going to spike down, spike up, go sideways, spike down, and then go up. Whatever it is, watch out for that day. Anything else? Time clusters. It's interesting with the time clusters here that we're entering these peaks right here, 10, 11, and then there's a big gap on the 16th where there's nothing really going on. So it's indicating 10 and 11 for this week. Watch it. So I don't know if it's, spike down turn, which probably could happen as a low, and then, go into the week positive until the EIA report kicks in. So I think that's it for here. Yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully this helps you out. We'll go now into the cycles, and then we'll end it there. Okay, I got this clip and another clip, and we'll end the video. So this is my geometry. So first off, I want to start off with neural net, what the computer thinks price action is going to go. And so far, she peaked on 10/24, and it's been showing lower price action all the way to 12, which is February the 12th. And then maybe turn here. So we'll see how that's going to play out. But so far, it's forecasting wrong. Maybe, I don't know. I got to look if this is working, these turning points while price action is going higher. But as of right now, is looking at 12.9, which is coming up, and then 12, I think that's 13th. But we'll see. So far, neural net is seeing down, and we're going up. Maybe it'll catch up and go down, and we end up here, but we'll see. We don't know yet for sure. Let's look at our Gann fans. So far, we're hovering around above the, chopping around pretty much around the 1/8. Looks like it probably will like to test, at least try to get a close up about 357, 356 to continue going higher to do that wave 5. This is the important one, your 1/1. We're still on the weaker side. We haven't closed above it. Very bullish, strong, very weak, and bearish. And so far, we're oscillating here. So we need to get a close above here to get some of the frenzy going and push higher. The Gann square, we're right now at the what I call vector points, where things could get a little crazy in regards to volatility, and we're in that season and that point right now. So watch out for the open, especially this week from here. If it's going to explode up, you got targets of 324 all the way to a 332, even higher all the way to 357, 356. If it's going to go lower, you got levels of 291. Which I'm sure it probably kissed, 282, and then your big one right here, which is 257. So let's see how that plays out. And also keep an eye out for 1219. That's another vector point. Nothing on the pitchfork. The ellipse is interesting. 1217 is coming up a lot. You want to keep an eye, not 1217, this 12.4. And that's this week right here, 12.4, 12.5. You say 12.5 right here. That was a Thursday. So I don't know if this is going to be the beginning of a move to go higher or it turns here and goes down. But either way, 12.5 with the ellipse is showing maybe it's the beginning of something. Nothing on trend lines here. It's in a triangle pattern. Broke the 45 there, 128. You got 12.1, the 128 technique, 128, yep. There's one coming up, which would be the 122. That's January the 22nd. Fourier is interesting. Fourier is the one I think it was showing the 17th. So watch this for a possible turning point. See, this is a turning point here, and it came in a little later. So I'm going to see if this Fourier is going to nail this one right here. If we're going to go up, and then from here, boom, turn. Advanced support, 293 support right now. Resistance at 336. My harmonic right here is indicating 12, 11, and that's going to be in the, around this week. So keep an eye on that. That's a harmonic point there. Saw, nothing there. Fib, nothing really there. Advance. Resistance is 274 support. Right now, 223 is resistance. And here is a wave that I'm watching. 1217 comes up again. So I don't know if we're going to go up here, fail new high, or test this high and then turn. So keep an eye on the 17th. That's a Tuesday. Nothing there. Nothing on the ellipse. Nothing there. And nothing there. All right, so let's end our video with this last clip on the cycles, and we'll see what's showing there. Okay, so this is the last clip, and I have some notes here that I figure be worth, recapping and seeing what has happened. And I can't remember when I started this forecast. But these lines right here, impossible turning points, this is the quant I use. And it was saying that from here, we would probably have a turning point here. And that, that didn't pan out. It started trending higher. So the green ones are kind of like, turning points to the upside and then stall. This one from here was indicating a turning point somewhere around the 1129. And so far, this one panned out somewhere around 1129 high. So these are the upside. So this one didn't work, but this one was a little off, but was close. The high was somewhere around 1126, and this was saying 1129. But it did kind of pick this flush down. So that was interesting there. Now to the downside, this didn't pan out because we just started trending higher. Now the one I want to watch is still, this one's still in effect. The quant is indicating from here, we should continue trending lower till 1224. So this goes in the face of the Elliott wave theory. Elliott wave theory is indicating higher. This is a wave 4, working on a wave 5. The quant is indicating you're going to go lower into December around the 25th, which is kind of what's interesting is that seasonality is showing that it turns up there on the averages. And over here, it's saying that there's a low. The quant is saying there's a low down here. I mean, not price-wise, but, time-wise on a Tuesday. So I'll leave that there. Let's look at the Gann square. Nothing there. Nothing there. Although you see some big support right here at 271. Interesting, we have a big, and this is like big level Gann square. So this one is lining up at 1216, which is off with the other one, which is more fractal, 1217. So between 1216 17 is going to be interesting. This is a big, what I call like a vector. So you can see right here. Something happened here on the 8-2. And then on 8-4, a couple of days later, you got this big pop. But then it didn't really fail new low or something like that, or your last low, and you get your swing high. Keep an eye around that date, 16, 17, mostly 17. You got 284, big level. Looking at our monthly, so far last month was pretty bullish. Now we're kind of in the red right now, but it's early, too early to tell. On our weekly, we didn't really go anywhere this week or last week. So it's kind of positive, but very quiet. Just very quiet. It's like the nat gas, the black widow is like waiting for something. And with all the stuff going on and, the Middle East and Russia, I mean, I don't know what could affect it, but it's like it's waiting for something. And I just thought of it. Commitments of Traders report. I haven't seen what the large speculators and commercial are doing. So let's put some of my favorite cycles. This is the solar cycle. So the solar cycle is positive. which lines up with the Elliott wave theory, and it lines up with my seasonality on the Elliott wave chart, where although she was indicating around the 24th, 23rd, this one's indicating around the 17th. Remember the 17th, 18th? You never know if we could get this kind of move or explosion. So that's why you have to watch nat gas this week. It's going to be very interesting. If it's going to follow this projection line, then this one is indicating the 17th, a possible swing high, and then this kind of plays out. And I have a funny feeling this could probably play out, but too early to tell. But we're in that ballpark. If this is your wave 5, then you're gonna get a big ABC correction, and it lines up with my thesis that December, January, February are typically weak on nat gas. I don't know why, but that's what the data shows. So that's the solar cycle. Now I call it the Gann cycle because I don't want to spook the kids, but this one is the one I've been kind of leaning on, and this one goes against the Elliott wave theory. So Elliott wave is pushing, for wave 5, which could probably play out as maybe more like a bull trap, and then the bears will come and slaughter all the bulls. So right now we're at that transition point. See how interesting it is that we go higher, and then we kind of pull back, and now from here it starts going lower. And then we get to a down or a cycle low around January the 22nd. So if this is going to play out, I could see the Elliott wave theory playing out. I don't know if we're going to hit like $4.90 or like $5. Maybe test this high here, or maybe push just a little bit higher. Maybe $4. I don't know. But then eventually have a pivot high. So if you put our solar cycle, this could be your bear trap between the 17th and the 24th, 25th, the last week of December, and then follow this down. So you get my idea. I'm nor bull nor bear here. I just want to see what price action is going to go, and then I'm going to follow it. I got conviction that it could go lower from here. The models are indicating that from here as maybe a possible swing trade, and then get out around here. Maybe consolidate or go sideways or pop. Or if it's going to, have a price cap, it wants to trap more bulls and go up around the 17th to the 24th and then turn. So that's how I'm looking at it. So however you want to play it, go ahead. You're not right or wrong. Like I've been showing you, there's bulls and bears, and I'm showing you both views. You just have to follow which one is your thesis. What do you believe? What do you think is the most path of least resistance? And the Stokes are negative. The daily cycle is negative. Large speculators are short. Commercial are buying. The weekly cycle I know is up. But you have these things, these confluences that, it could go either way here. It's all a big melting pot. So my game plan is I want to see where we open on the Sunday night and then decide from there. If I see some bullish action, then I could be like, yep, we could continue pushing higher, maybe test as high, but then I can't be falling in love with with looking at higher prices because we're running out of time and the window opportunity where things start looking like it could possibly turn. Now, what would void this is that nat gas is going to ignore the solar cycle, is going to ignore my cycle here and continue pushing higher. And then that's different. That's a whole different ball game. Something is happening, maybe an event that just happened. It's affecting nat gas that it wants to even push higher. And that's different. Then I probably won't be looking at this because there's something else affecting it. But so far, this is what the data is showing. Let's take these off and let's look at now our natural cycles over here. And let's clean this up. This is where I'm going to end with. So this is our annual cycle. Yeah, so somewhere around the it just hits a top and then goes down. So that means that where's what, Saturday the 8th? So between tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday, that's what it's indicating there. Fast annual, that's just 3 years worth of data. It came in early, so we're kind of, looks like we did a bull trap, and this could probably play out into February. Mid-annual, that's 6 years of data. That's indicating the top was 1120, so it came in early. And now this kind of lines up with the quant, somewhere a swing low around the last week of December. And so this is possible also. And then you get a nice little pop, and then boom. The annual in decimal is kind of in that ballpark here. It's a little later. And this could probably also play out. But then this one indicates a nice, huge pop. So that's interesting. Definitely ignores January and February as very weak. And lastly, I like to use Gann's technique of looking 10 years in the back. And so far, the high came in way earlier on the 19th. We did it around the 26th. Now, what's interesting here is that 10 years ago, somewhere around here, we kind of found the low. So there is something here in regards to this annual. I don't know where it's at. But yeah, so this has some interesting here, some price action. You could get a nice pop. It's not going to be a lot. But then around the 17th, remember that 17th I've been mentioning you? It's always coming up. Tuesday. It's an interesting day, Tuesday. You got the 10th, and it just chops around. Then the 17th, it pulls back, and then this lines up with the quant, which the quant was indicating a swing low. So this was the price action 10 years ago. So be careful. If you're bullish, it might not be that much. So maybe it could be like where it tests a high, fill new high, and then boom. So just be careful. But it doesn't show that much movement here. Gann also said, look 20 years ago, see what happened here, and look how crazy the price action is here. So we pull all the way back down around the 9th. So you see the 9th this week gets a nice huge pop. Looks like a final pop. And you see this move right here could match this move right here of testing these highs. And then chopping around, and I'm just speculating, chopping around the highs, or maybe a little more just to trap some bulls. And somewhere around the 23rd, 24th, pull the rug out. So just showing you what I know. So we got to be careful. Don't fall in love with either side, because you're right now below the 45, which is the 1x1. You're more on the weaker side of anything, but you could make some money. You just have to play it right. But we are aware of all these scenarios. So you can look at this video, write some notes, take snapshots or whatever you want to do. But just know that there's bullish, that could be a trap, or it could just continue down from here. I'm leaning more that maybe it could, looking at just this data from 20 years ago, it could maybe try to do one more. And that way, once the Black Widow pulls the rug, it could go down. Got it? Well, hopefully this was helpful. And I am going to sign out and have fun with my boys and have a good time. Enjoy this week, your loved ones. Trade wise, put your stops. And if you don't use stops, then put alerts, whatever. But be careful, because the Black Widow's out to get us all. I'll see you guys on the next one.